Okay, we're here at Scotties Gun Works. I'm going to make a little video on checkering a stock. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you get it sanded down real good. You know, if you know you're going to refinish it, you don't necessarily have to take the finish off to checker a stock. But in this case right here, the finish, we're going to refinish this. So I thought before I'd put the finish on it, I'd go ahead and checker it. Kind of make a little video, kind of showing you how to, you know, give you an idea how to do that. If you decide to do this, showing you what tools we need and stuff. I got the necessary checkering tools right over here. So dim out there we can see them. And it's all hand done the way I do this. You know, you just got different types here. I think the checkering we're going to be doing here is 24 diamond per inch. In other words, you're going to have 24 little diamonds per inch, and I'll go into that in more detail here in a little bit. But I'm kind of a one-man show today, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be kind of cutting the camera on, you know, and cutting it back off and cutting it on, you know, throughout this little video. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to draw my pattern out with a pencil, and I'll show you that after I get it drawn out, and then I'll show you, you know, the pattern I'm taking with the checkering tool to ensure that it's going to come out nice and neat and straight. Okay, here we are so far. I kind of draw that out with a pencil. They've got, I'm going to make this point here. They've got these little decals here you can buy, you know, which really help out a lot. The reason why I don't like using them is because they kind of make you limited. What I like doing is kind of looking at the stock. You know, all stocks are going to be a little bit different. I like to draw this line right here with the same contour, this right here. You'll see how that's kind of the same. I come up so far, you know, and kind of go with the same contour with this right here. You notice how it kind of cuts off right there? Well, I like for mine to cut off, you know, kind of even with that, and it kind of bail out down here, you know, along with the contour of the grip. Of course, then I exit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to cut a border first around that using a Dembart hand cutting tool. There they are right there. I think I showed them when I first started the video. They're just a whole lot easier to use for me. I mean, you can get the electric ones and all that, rather expensive. But I think I've always been able to do pretty good with these right here, you know. And I know when we first started the video, I said something about a 24 per inch cut is what was going to make on this particular stock. But I think this particular stock right here would look better with an 18 per inch diamond cut. And that just means, you know, within an inch, you're going to have 18 diamonds. They're going to be a little bit bigger, a little more noticeable. If it's 24 by inch, obviously the diamonds will be a lot smaller and not as noticeable. I mean, it look nice. It just really depends on the situation. This particular gun right here, I feel like it'd look better, you know, with the 1 by 18 cut. But anyway, that's where we're at right there on it so far. I'm trying to position this where y'all can really see that. I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me make a point that lighting is very important. You know, you need some lights that you can maneuver around to cast different shadows. And you also need something like that right there to put on your glasses. Go real slow with it, and just don't get no big hurry. And what I like to do is I like to do this down here first, and then do the forearm. Then I'll turn it over, and then I will do the other side. It doesn't really matter, you know, how you do that. I just always like doing it that way, and that way it's easier for me to make good and sure that it's good and centered. That way when you turn the stock over and you start eyeballing it, you'll see that the lines are even. That right there is where we're at so far. I got the little border cut, and basically how this works, I wish I could film myself working here, kind of give everybody more of an idea of how this is done. But actually, it's, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got two cutting tools here, as I've explained earlier. You got a right-handed one and a left-handed one, and what that basically says is one side of the cutting tool has got cutters on it, and the other side is smooth. And this particular one right here, this will be the right-handed one. And what I do is, I've done cut the border in there using the tool, and I just rest this smooth side in the cut out there. And then I just make the cut, and it just goes so on and on. Each cut's going to be the same as the border before. And, you know, we'll use the right one on this right here and go all the way over, all the way up. Then I got another one there for the left, and of course we'll cut the left one in there all the way up. You know, the smooth side will be in the track, and the other side will be doing a fresh cut. And that's kind of how that works. Same way with this way right here, you know. Okay, here's another little progress report. I went ahead and started cutting the diamonds up here. Got a little bit of cleanup work yet to do on it, you know. And what I always like to do is I like to get all the diamonds cut. Then I'll go back, you know, and kind of freshen it up or clean it up, you know, make the diamonds, you know, really deep and sharp. But anyway, that's where we're at so far. I'll probably go ahead and finish these lines here that way. And then I'll probably come back, oh, I don't know, maybe halfway down. Done got the checkering cut in it, as everybody can tell. To give you a good look at that. I'll just basically go back, kind of clean it up a little bit and touch it up. Put a little oil on it. Of course, I'm going to refinish the whole stock. But there's one panel done. Now I'm going to go ahead, you know, and probably cut the forearm checkering in. Probably go about right here with it. And basically I'm going to do it the same way. I'm just going to take and draw it out. And I'll kind of, you know, draw it out first with the pencil, and then I'll kind of walk you through that as well. Okay, here we are. I moved off into the other part of the shop here where the lighting's a little bit better. As far as casting a shadow. Of course, that's our finished side there. And I done got this far into the other side of the pistol grip. Just kind of wanted to give you a little update. I was hoping I could set this up where I could actually do some cutting. But you can see how important it is to have a good sharp visual of it. You know, you set the smooth side down inside the track there. Then you just make your cut. And again, I'm not going to really put a lot of effort in this because I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand and then make the cut. But I definitely want everybody to kind of get an idea of what I'm doing here. It's really important that you put yourself in a place where there's, you know, good lighting. It's better to have all the lights turned off. The only lights you really want on is, you know, the one that's casting the shadow, like that particular light right there. Okay, folks, another quick update. I've got my camera set up here where I can maybe do a few lines for y'all with the checkering tool here. Kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing here. Got me a little bipod holding the camera, but it's in an odd position, so hopefully y'all can kind of tell what I'm doing. You'll notice now I'm putting the smooth side of the blade in the last track I laid. I've got a smooth side and a cutter side, as I've explained earlier. And you basically just want to follow that line. A light cut at first. Basically how that's done. You don't want to get no hurry or anything. And what you want to do is you want to kind of watch it. Because what happens is, if you don't pay attention, this line right, by the time you get down here, it won't be parallel to that line right there. It's probably going to be off just a little bit, but it shouldn't be enough to matter. I wanted to cut a few of them here to kind of give everybody an idea of what I know about. I've explained it, but seeing it be a whole lot more better than just explaining it. So kind of keep your brush handy where you kind of clean it off, and you can see the diamonds forming. Of course, I'll go back over it, you know, and clean it up and all that. But this is the main part of checkering. You'll notice how that light's casting a shadow. If it wasn't for the light being in the position it's in, it'd be really hard to do this. You might be saying to yourself, well, it's in a track, so it's not going to go nowhere. But I mean, you can get off that track and cross them over pretty easy. So you really want to keep your eyes open and pay a close attention to what you're doing. Because you can have a lot of hours in this, only to have to sand it all back off. Start all over again. And I've done it many times. I don't like it. So I just figure it's better just to take my time and do it right. If you ain't get time to do it right the first time, you sure ain't get time to do it over. But if I did mess it up, I would sand it off and redo it. I like to get what my customer wants, and they want this stock checkered. I need finish put on it, so that's what I'm going to do for them. I appreciate them letting me do this, and hope this right here kind of gives everybody an idea how the checkering is done. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and do the forearm here in a little while, front part of this stock, and I'll kind of go over that with you as well. Okay, another quick update. Done got both the panels done on the pistol grip area. Turned out really nice. Real slow that way the camera will focus it in for you. Anyway, turned out really nice. Got a nice good grip there. Our next step's going to be to put the checkering up here on the forearm. There we are so far. As you can see, I've got the border all laid out. Got my line cut right there for my points. I'm just working my way down here to the end. And when you're doing this right here, you want to watch these lines right here because they'll tend to curl on you. Then when you get down here all done, it'll be curled on the end. You don't want that. You want everything to be as straight as possible, parallel with each other there. I just want to go ahead and finish this one panel up here. I'll go back later on, you know, and kind of clean everything up a little bit. But I just kind of want to show everybody that I did have this side finished. I didn't fully finish the front part yet. Like I said, I'll have to go back and clean these diamonds up and straighten everything up. But there's where we're at so far with it. And the reason why I didn't go ahead and fully finish the front part yet, it's pretty much finished. All I got to do is basically clean it up and, you know, touch it up and get everything smoothed up. But it's always a good trick, especially if you're doing it like I do it, because I just basically do it free-handedly. What I'll do is I'll just, you know, set the other side up, you know, making sure that it's going to be nice and even. I'll use a tool like this right here, you know, to make sure everything's pretty much the same on the other side. And I'll just bring it all in together. And the reason why I didn't fully finish this one side here yet, because I may have to put another line or two on it. It's just another way, sort of I guess an insurance policy, making sure that I can make sure that they're both going to be even and they're both going to be pretty much contour with each other. You know, so that way when you look straight down the stock, you know, you'll see a little bit of this right here, and they'll both be about the same distance apart, you know, and centered up. Just about got the other side done. Of course, I done finished, you know, that one side there. Just got to go back and kind of clean it up a little bit. But there's my progress so far on this side. Of course, I still got to, you know, cut that right there and bring it on down and get it all good and even. Okay, here we are. We're finished with our checkering. Got it all laid out there. Hope y'all can see that real good. Got all 4 panels done. They all look good. Everything matches up really nice. Everybody get a good look at that. What I did here is I went on ahead and I put some true oil on this wood here. I went on and put the true oil on the checkering panels and on the wood and all that, hoping that it would really bring it out where y'all could really see it really good with this particular camera right here. And it's a step I would have done anyway. What I'll do is I will, after the true oil dries, this is the first coat that's on here. I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what I usually do in a situation like this. After it dries, the first coat, I'll put masking tape over all 4 checkering panels. I'll take an X-Acto knife, you know, and I'll cut them out, you know, to where nothing's covered but just the checkering. And the reason why I do that is because after this true oil dries, I'll take me a piece of steel wool and I'll, you know, buff over it real good, 00 steel wool, nothing real coarse. And after I get it all buffed out real good and all that, I'll take and blow it off real good, making sure there ain't no lint or dust on it. Then I'll just put another coat of True Oil on it, and I'll just keep repeating this process until my wood is really smooth to the touch. In other words, all the grain is filled in. Usually it takes about 10 coats, I'd say, and that's my base. I do that just about on every stock that I refinish, because it's really important, to have a nice base. And the True Oil for me seems like it really fills in all the grains. That's the reason why I use that. But anyway, the customer here wants a real high shine on this particular stock. So what I will do is, after I get it all smoothed out real good like I like it and everything, I will hang it up and I will peel the masking tape off the checkering. Then I'll kind of clean up everything, making sure everything, is lint free. And then what I will do is I will spray it. Then after I spray it, of course, I'll let it dry, and then I'll go back and I will polish over the finish that I sprayed on it. And that will produce a really high shine like the customer requests. And it'll, blend in real good and everything. You'll still have real thick, deep checkerings, diamonds, to where when you touch it, it'll grip really good, and it'll look good, and you'll be satisfied. Here we go. I just wanted to kind of show everybody what I was talking about when I said I was going to put masking tape over the checkerings. That way I can keep the finish out of the checkerings. This right here is kind of an example. I'll just put a wide piece, get you a roll about like that right there, wide roll, and just make good sure it's stuck down real good, and then just take your knife like that right there. The rounded side usually works best, or you can use an X-Acto knife, but in this case here I just kind of use the rounded side there to cut down into the border. Now I've done the cutting, and I just make sure it's all loose, and I just kind of peel it away. See how nice and neat that peeled away? Just peel that away like so. That's your end result. And what that's going to do, that's going to keep the finish out of those checkerings, because if you don't put the tape over, what's going to happen is, as I've explained earlier, it's going to fill the checkerings in, then it's just going to be smooth all over. And you want them checkerings to be really deep, so they'll look real good after you get it all finished. But anyway, that right there is the masking tape result. Got the forearm part done as well. And I'll do the other side. Then I'll go ahead and start my True Oil finish, which I'll put about 10 coats on it until it's really smooth at the finish. Then I'll peel the tape off and blow it off real good, make sure there ain't no lint on it. Then I'll spray it with the high gloss finish and then polish it, and we'll have a nice looking stock.